The forbidden reaction Lyra stood in front of Ethan's cell, her silver blue hair glowing faintly under the dim light. Her hands were trembling, but not from fear. At least, not only fear. Her cheeks were already flushed pink and she tried to hide it by pulling her cloak tighter. Ethan sat on the floor staring at her with confusion and guilt. He had no chains, but the thick walls and locked door kept him trapped. The air between them was heavy. Neither knew what to say. Finally, Lyra spoke, her voice soft and broken. You must tell me the truth. What did you really do to me? Ethan shook his head quickly. I told you already, it was the device. Just a test. I didn't mean for this to happen. She stepped closer, her eyes sharp but uncertain. Then why does it only happen with you? Why does my body? She stopped, blushing so deeply she covered her face with her hands. Ethan's chest tightened. He hated seeing her ashamed. Listen, he said gently. Maybe it was a one-time effect. Maybe it will fade. But Lyra lowered her hands and looked at him. Her eyes shimmered in the dim light, and Ethan felt something stir inside him. She whispered, No, it hasn't faded. It reacts again. Every time I think of you. The words struck him harder than any weapon. He opened his mouth, but nothing came out. Outside the cell, guards shifted. Voices echoed in the distance. If they discovered Lyra here, both of them would be in trouble. She knew it, but she stayed anyway. Lyra's heart was pounding. She had come here for answers. But instead, the human's presence was making her feel even stranger. She could feel the warmth in her body, the rush of blood in her face. She had never felt this way before, not around anyone, not even her own people. It scared her, but it also drew her closer. Ethan stood slowly. Look, I don't know what's happening to you, but I swear, I didn't mean to embarrass you. If I could undo it, I would. Lyra stared at him, her breath uneven. She wanted to believe him. Deep inside, she already did. But believing him meant something dangerous. It meant this reaction wasn't his trick. It was real. Suddenly, heavy footsteps approached. Lyra panicked. She pulled her cloak over her head. Again. Stay quiet, she whispered. Then she slipped back into the shadows just as two guards entered. Human, one growled. The elders will see you tomorrow. Your judgment will be decided then. Ethan kept silent. He didn't dare. Look at Lyra hidden behind the wall. The guards soon left, locking the cell again. When the sound of their boots faded, Lyra stepped back into view, her hands shaking. You must not speak of me, she warned, her voice low. If they know I came here, if they know what happened to me, they will call me cursed. Ethan frowned. Cursed? But you did nothing wrong. Lyra looked down at her hands. In my people's eyes, a woman's body should not react this way, especially in public. They will say I am impure. They may even banish me. Her words hit Ethan hard. He clenched his fists. All this because of an accident? I'm sorry, he said, his voice firm. I'll take the blame no matter what happens. Lyra's eyes widened. Why would you do that? They will punish you. Ethan smiled sadly. Because it's not your fault. And I don't want to see you hurt. Her heart skipped. She looked at him, and for the first time her fear softened into something else. Her cheeks burned hot again, and she quickly turned away. Later that night, Lyra slipped back home. She lay in her bed, staring at the ceiling. Her mind was a storm. She could still hear Ethan's words. I don't want to see you hurt. No one had ever spoken to her like that. Not even her family. She pressed her pillow to her face, groaning softly. Why is this happening? Why does he make me feel this way? Her body warmed just from thinking of him. She hugged herself. Her face, glowing red. She didn't want to admit it, but deep inside she knew. This was more than just an accident. Meanwhile, Ethan sat awake in the dark cell. He could not sleep. His thoughts replayed the way she looked at him, the way she whispered about her reaction. He had seen fear in her eyes, but also trust. He leaned against the wall, staring into the dark. She doesn't deserve this, and if the elders try to harm her... His jaw tightened. I won't let them. For the first time since coming to this world, Ethan felt a purpose beyond machines. The next day, the market buzzed with rumors. Whispers of the blushing girl spread across the colony. Some laughed cruelly, others spoke in fear, but all eyes turned when Lyra walked through the streets. She kept her hood low, but she could feel the stares burning into her. Is she the one? She changed in front of everyone. She is cursed. Her hands shook as she hurried past. She hated the whispers, hated the shame. But most of all, she hated that the only one who could understand her, the human, was locked away. As she walked, her blush returned. She whispered softly to herself, words no one else could hear. Why? Why can't I stop thinking about him? The Elder's warning. The Hall of the Elders was carved from black stone, its tall arches glowing with runes that shifted like fireflies. The air inside was heavy, filled with the whispers of old power. At the center stood a circle of tall alien figures, their robes sweeping the ground like shadows. These were the Elders, keepers of law and tradition, rulers of the colony. At their feet, guards pushed Ethan forward. His wrists were bound by glowing bands of energy, and his machine had been taken away. He stood firm, though his heart pounded. He could feel every eye on him, burning with judgment. One elder, taller than the rest, leaned forward. His voice was deep and sharp, like a blade drawn across stone. Human, you stand accused of corrupting one of our daughters. Tell us, what trick did you use? Ethan raised his head. His voice was steady, though his chest tightened. I didn't trick her. My device released energy by accident. It wasn't meant for her. A murmur ran through the hall. Some elders scoffed. Others narrowed their eyes. Lies. One spat. No alien girl reacts so openly unless provoked, said another. Perhaps he used forbidden human magic. Ethan clenched his fists. I don't have magic. I only have science. And I swear to you, I didn't mean to shame her. The elder's eyes glowed faintly in the darkness. They didn't look convinced. Behind the pillars, hidden from sight, Lyra stood trembling. She had followed, her hood pulled low, her breath shallow. She should not be here. But she couldn't. Stay away. She needed to hear what they would do to him. Her heart sank as the eldest elder spoke again. Human, you are dangerous. Our people whisper about the girl. Already her name is stained. You have disrupted harmony. We will not allow it to spread further. Ethan felt his stomach twist. What do you mean? The elder's voice was cold. You will be exiled, sent beyond our borders. If you resist, you will be executed. The guards tightened their grip on his arms. Ethan struggled against them, anger flaring in his chest. That's not fair. I didn't do anything wrong, the Shrey. Elder's eyes narrowed. Then explain why she blushes whenever she sees you. Explain why her body reacts only to you. Ethan froze. He didn't know how to answer. His silence echoed through the chamber. The elders took it as guilt. Lyra's heart pounded. Her hands shook. She wanted to step out, to speak for him, but fear held her back. If she admitted the truth, if she told them her reaction was real, they might cast her out too. Her family would suffer. She closed her eyes, tears burning at the corners. After a long silence, the elder gave his warning. His words struck like thunder. Hear this, human. Stay away from the girl. If you ever approach her again, your death will be swift. You are not welcome in her life. The guards pulled Ethan back. He struggled, his voice echoing in the hall. You can threaten me all you want, but you can't erase what happened, and you can't stop the truth from coming out. The elders ignored him. With a wave of their hands, the chamber doors opened, and the guards dragged him away. Lyra sank. To her knees in the shadows, her whole body shaking. She had heard every word. The warning wasn't just for Ethan, it was for her too. If she defied them, she would be branded cursed. But her heart ached. The human had spoken bravely. He had defended her even when the whole council stood against him. She pressed her hand to her chest, her face burning red again. Why can't I let him go? She whispered. That night, Ethan sat in his cold cell again. The guards had thrown him back like an animal. His wrists were raw from the glowing bands. He leaned against the wall, frustration boiling inside him. "They don't even care about the truth," he muttered. "All they want is control." He closed his eyes and the image of Lyra came back, her silver blue hair, her wide eyes, her soft blush. He clenched his fists. "No matter what they say, I won't stay away from her. She doesn't deserve to suffer for this." In her chamber, Lyra sat before the mirror once more. She stared at her reflection, her face glowing pink. The elder's words echoed in her mind. Stay away from the human. But the more she tried to forget him, the more she thought of him. The way he had spoken, the way he had promised he didn't want her hurt, and the strange bond that made her body react whenever he was near. She touched her cheek, whispering softly, "They think it's shame, but why does it feel like something else?" Her reflection blushed back at her, and she realized the truth. She didn't just feel shame, she felt something deeper, something she couldn't name, and that truth terrified her more than the elder's warning. The colony whispered louder with each passing day. Stories of the blushing girl spread like fire. Some mocked her, some pitied her, but none of them understood the truth. Only she and Ethan knew.